Do you believe the two animals with huge differences in size can have a relationship? It's unbelievable, but it really happened. This is a very touching and heartwarming story about a leopard and a meerkat. After the baby leopard was born, its mother died. Because it needed to feed to survive, the staff tried to find a new mother for the little leopard. After a long time, neither of them found a suitable female leopard at the zoo. In desperation, they had to seek veterinary help. The veterinarian told the staff they didn't need to look for the same species to feed the cub. The staff found a meerkat that had just given birth at that time, too. Although they didn't hold out much hope, they still wanted to try it. They handed the little leopard to the meerkat. At first, they worried about whether the cub would accept the meerkat's breast milk or whether the meerkat would dislike the cub and not want to nurse it. So they lay outside the leopard's den every day to observe. But they did not expect that the meerkat not only not dislike the little leopard, but took the initiative to feed it and hold it in its arms. The little leopard didn't resist the meerkat, but went forward very actively to feed. After that, the meerkat stayed in the little leopard's cage and grew up with it. They stayed together every day and had a very deep friendship. The meerkat took the little leopard as its child, and the little leopard took the meerkat as its mother. Time passed quickly, and the little leopard grew up and no longer needed the meerkat to feed. At that time, it could eat the food provided by the staff, so the staff decided to take this little leopard and this meerkat mother. After first leaving the meerkat, the little leopard was very sad and had a bad appetite, and even refused to eat for a while. Faced with such a situation, the staff had no choice but to separate them. Keeping them together was intimidating for the staff because of the species differences. After a little while, the little leopard returned to normal. It grew up, and it was no longer the little leopard, but instead a real beast. The staff all thought that the leopard might have forgotten the meerkat, but they decided to take the meerkat to visit it anyway. Because leopards were at the top of the food chain and were very cruel creatures, the staff had to let them meet across the fence. So 2 years later, they finally met again. Everyone thought they didn't remember each other, but the moment they met, it moved many people present. The meerkat was very excited and used its paws to stroke the leopard through the fence. Although the leopard was several times larger than it had been at that time, the meerkat was not afraid. The leopard did not object to the meerkat's actions, but instead acted coquettishly at it across the fence like a child. The staff were not used to this because the usually grumpy leopard became gentle at that time. The meerkat also made an amazing move. Since it couldn't touch the leopard, it used its claws to plant the ground under the fence to get out and meet it. In the end, though, it was stopped by the staff. The leopard was very reluctant to part with the meerkat. After the meerkat was gone, it remained in place for a long time, as if waiting for it. Although they were not really relatives, they regarded each other as family. There are many more touching stories like this. There was a kind-hearted female orangutan and a young tiger who had lost both parents at birth in the reserve of a foreign zoo. This orphan tiger cub was very lonely, and the breeder came up with a solution to the problem. He kept the tiger cub in captivity with a female orangutan. Although he didn't hold out much hope for their friendship, the behavior of the female orangutan was quite surprising. The orangutan was a primate creature with very similar limbs to humans, and they were very intelligent, so the orangutan was not surprised by the behavior of the little tiger. At first, the breeder was worried about whether they could live together peacefully, but he found that his worries were completely unnecessary. The mother orangutan treated the cub as a child and took good care of it. At first, the breeder took the bottle to feed the little tiger, but it was snatched by the orangutan. The breeder thought it was going to drink it, but the next move shocked him. The breeder thought it was funny that it actually took the bottle to feed the little tiger. After that, the breeder could finally relax. He stopped worrying about it and just gave the bottle to the female orangutan. The little tiger had a huge appetite, several meals a day, but the mother orangutan was not impatient, but rather fed it seriously. They got along very well. The female orangutan would cuddle the cub to sleep and pat it on the back to lull it to sleep. It would only go to sleep after the little tiger fell asleep. It really did take the little tiger as its child. The cub was very healthy under the feeding of the mother orangutan. Fate is really wonderful, and the mother's love knows no race. It is hoped that this little tiger and this mother orangutan can live happily ever after.